Hey everyone, SWE here, and welcome back to the next episode of SWE Mayhem. This is episode number 3 of Mayhem. We've had 3 shows of Mayhem now, before without a second show of any of the others because of the pay-per-view. And of course we are live from Buffalo, New York, and we're going to be reacting to some of the stuff that happened at the pay-per-view. And it looks like we're going to start tonight's show off here with the introduction of Mr. Finn Balor. Not scheduled for a match here, so I'm not quite sure what Finn Balor is doing, making his way out here. Maybe he's got something to say. That'll be interesting. Now tonight, we are going to be making a massive announcement here for SWE Mayhem. We are going to be introducing our first ever general manager in SWE. So we're going to crown that general manager here this evening. And as time goes on, we'll find out exactly who that is going to be and what sort of influence that person is going to have across SWE. Maybe that's what Finn Balor's coming out to say. Maybe Finn Balor's got something to tell the new general manager. Of course, Finn Balor had a match against the Great Muta at the pay-per-view. Did pretty well, but of course Great Muta came out on top, but it was a very hard, well-fought match, and Finn Balor will have to feel quite proud of what he did in that match. Of course, the Great Muta, a legendary wrestler of all time. It's be very, very difficult for anybody to beat, really. Very difficult for anyone to beat. And I feel like Finn, it's tricky for him. He has been on Mayhem now since the very beginning, former television champion, but apart from that, he struggled to really take that step forward into the next stage, really, of this universe mode. Of course, that big match against the Great Muta, if it had gone the other way for him, that might have really kick-started him forward. But at the moment, things are a bit tough for him, and I think he needs to prove himself to PJ Toby. That's what he wants to do, I feel. I feel like one big win could be enough to really push Finn over the edge and take him up to the next level here in SWE, and maybe he can go for the main event championship here on Mayhem. Finn Balor, the man with the longest entrance in the game. This entrance, I'm actually recording it right now. This entrance is now 1 minute and 50 it's at now. We've had random matches that have been as quick as this. He didn't have to milk it, doesn't he? Anyway, somebody grab Finn a microphone. Finn's got something important to say. Grab my microphone, send it out there. Go. Right. Finn, let's see what you've got to say. You know what? I'm here, and I'm gutted. I am really gutted. When the draft came around for this season of SWE, I sat there and I watched with bated breath. And the one thing that I did not want to happen, happened. I've ended up here stuck on Mayhem. PJ Toby does not see me as the main event wrestler that I surely am. I'm not up in mid-card. I'm not here for some stupid gimmick matches. I want to be fighting in the main event for the main championships, and I'm not going to continue on with this reign of mid-card stupidity style matches. I'm not happy with it. So PJ Toby, if you're out there, or this brand new general manager, whoever the hell you are, come out here right now. I want some answers. I want to be pushed into the main event picture. I don't want to be stuck with these stupid old-timers. Wow. This is the new Mayhem general manager. Yes, Daniel Bryan is the brand new Mayhem general manager, and it looks like Finn Balor is going to get his wish here. Daniel Bryan on his way down to the ring. Surely going to address some of the things that Finn Balor was just saying there. Finn Balor obviously very unhappy with his current situation here on Mayhem. He wants to be fighting it out in the main event picture, but he sees himself as being very much refined to the mid-card and very much refined to having these sort of gimmick matches, and I don't think he's too happy with that. He wants to be fighting it out for the gold. He wants to be fighting out for the top tier in SWE, and obviously his frustration has got the better of him, calling the new general manager Daniel Bryan out here for a bit of a face-to-face. That's what Daniel Bryan can do to try and appease Finn Balor. A very, very difficult start for Daniel Bryan. He doesn't want to lose one of the biggest financial assets on his roster, and he's got to do everything he can to try and keep Finn Balor in this brand. Let's see what Daniel Bryan's got to say to Finn Balor then. You know what, Finn? I know you're disappointed. I know you're unhappy. And I had the exact same thing when I was wrestling in WWE. I felt like I should be higher up the card than I actually am. But you know what I did that you haven't? I didn't just come out here and bitch and moan about the situation. I went out there and I realised to be the best, you had to beat the best. I defeated some of the biggest wrestlers in the WWE at that time, including defeating Triple H at WrestleMania before going on to win the championship. Who have you beaten? Nobody so far here in Mayhem. You had a big match at Against the Odds against the Great Muta, and you lost that match. People who lose big matches at pay-per-views do not get put into the main event championship picture. But you know what, Finn? I feel sorry for you, and I know there's a lot of potential in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be good for you here. I am going to issue you a challenge. Over the next 4 weeks leading up to our next pay-per-view, I'm going to pit you against some of the biggest names in wrestling history. If you can prove to me and prove to PJ Toby that you are good enough and you deserve a place in the main event picture, then we will give you that. Your first match is tonight. Have a nice day. And here is our opening match of the evening. We're going to see the first appearance of the model Rick Martel here in SWE. And he is going to be facing off against the newest member of Bobby Heenan's little Heenan family stable starting up. Wow. First time I didn't see the Rick model then, and this is just interesting, isn't it? Spraying arrogance everywhere. Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? To say the least. It's very interesting. What we're going to do with Rick Martel, we do not know at this point in time. There's talk between myself and PJ Toby about upper mid-card championship, talk about tag teams. Lots of different ideas bounce around for this guy, but nothing really concrete as of yet. And who knows if he gets a victory here against the newest member of the Heenan family, which we're yet to find out who that's going to be. But if he does get a victory here, then it could really cement himself in a certain direction. A win obviously be a great start for him in his debut in SWE. Get himself some ranking points. So who is going to be the new member of the Heenan family? Obviously. Pretty obvious now, isn't it? It is the ravishing one himself, Mr. Rick Rude. So difficult to find on this game as well, as I found out. When you search for Rick Rude in the list of characters, he's not with Ric Flair. He's not with Rick Martel. He's with the... well, he's with Raven. He's with RA. He's ravishing Rick Rude, which is quite annoying. I honestly had to double check the roster page on the SmackDown Hotel website because I thought he'd been taken off the game. That was a bit weird, wasn't it? But there we go. At least he is here, and he is the second member of the... oh, let's not cut him off.
What I'd like to have right now is for all you fat, ugly, inner city sweat hogs, keep the noise down while I take my robe off and show the ladies what a real sexy man looks like. Hit the music.
Such a stripper. Oh, you gotta love Rick Rude, don't you, really? You gotta love him. I'm so glad he's on the game. And PJ Toby, of course, locking him in for Mayhem. Here we go, then. The model Rick Martel versus Rick Rude. The Battle of the Ricks. Which Rick is going to come out on top, of course. Heenan's first member of his family, Andre the Giant, as we found out at the Against All Odds pay-per-view. It was Against All Odds, wasn't it? Obviously picked up a victory over Larry Zybsko. It was quite a hard-fought victory, actually. Will Rick Rude be able to pick up a victory in his one as well? Of course, as we said before, Andre the Giant with Heenan at ringside is a whole new dangerous aspect. You saw the hard work that Heenan did at ringside in that match against Larry Zybsko. Zybsko had a couple of opportunities against Andre, but Andre was able to fight through with the resilience and the distractions as well by Heenan. I think at one point, Heenan I think Zybsko hit a big move. Heenan then distracted the referee so Zybsko couldn't pin, then distracted Zybsko, and then Andre just came along, took Zybsko out, and then dropped the elbow for the win. So it was a real hard work by Heenan as well as Andre. It just shows the effects that managers can have on this game. Rick Rude there with a backbreaker on Rick Martel. Sending Rude off the ropes, Martel bringing him up into a scoop slam, but Rude fighting back and catching Martel in the back of the leg, and then a right hand and a kick taking him down as well. Rick Rude sending Martel off the ropes. Nice hip toss. Rude bringing Martel back up. Rick Rude. He's gone DDT already. Wow. That was a very, very early big DDT. And he's not even finished there. But Martel playing possum, taking him down with the dragon screw. The Rick Rude fighting straight back. Bit of a glitchy dropkick there, but it worked. Rick Rude back up with a dragon screw of his own. I've got some very interesting matches here for you this evening. As we saw earlier on. Oh, there we go. There's that neck breaker there by Rick. This could be a very quick match, this one. Rick Rude with a pin. 1, 2. No, Rick Martel kicked out. Wow. Yes, as we saw earlier on. Well, just now, anyway. Finn Balor has had the gauntlet set for him. If you want to be the best, you want to play with the best, you've got to beat the best. And he's got his first opportunity here this evening. He'll be taking on Mankind. We've also got for you Diesel and Ramon taking on the Steiner brothers. We've got the Big Show taking on the Big Boss Man. We've got a very interesting loser leaves Mayhem match. It's very early for that, isn't it? But it has been, the gauntlet has been put down now. Big Van Vader being asked to prove his worth to Hydra in a match that he's going to have against Yokozuna. Our main event is going to be Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels. And next up, the match that has been requested a couple of times, the debut of Jerry the King Lawler as he takes on Larry Zybsko as well. Zybsko getting a lot of TV time at the moment. There's the pin by Rick Rude, 1. Only a 1 count this time. Rick Martel in a better position. Rick Rude now, snapmare. Martel catching Rude with the elbow in the face and now raking away at the eye as well. Rick Martel, atomic drop. A nutbuster. Before bringing Rude back up, and Rude fighting back though. Rick Martel, neck breaker of his own. Rick Rude taking... Every time Martel gets any sort of offense here, Rude just seems to have enough to turn the match around again straight away. And there's that DDT once again. Martel could be in trouble here. I do apologise, I sound a bit weird. 1, 2... No, only 1 count again. So I just trying to turn my lava lamp on my desk and I just realised it's behind everything. I had to, like, really squeeze past the microphone and all sorts. So I do apologise, my voice went a bit funny there for a second. And there's the neck breaker, dead centre of the ring. And surely the second one is going to be enough for Rick Rude to pick up the victory. 1, 2, and 3. And Bobby Heenan's influence so far has been very, very good. Managing to get victories of both his new clients here. Bobby Heenan looking to take over Mayhem. There we go, Rick Rude victorious, getting himself some ranking points in the process. So it's an interesting little match. Rick Martel definitely showed some good signs of himself, to be honest. I don't think we can really discount him in this universe mode. It'd be interesting to see what we get to do with Rick Martel. I've mentioned about potentially teaming these two guys together. You know, the sort of cocky people who are very shallow in their looks and so forth. That could be an interesting little stable, couldn't it, really? But there we go. Rick Rude is victorious. Nice little bit of gyration there for the ladies. And here is this second match of the evening. It is going to be Larry Zybsko taking on the debuting Jerry the King Lawler. Don't know why I said Lawler's name like that for, to be honest. I don't know why. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, right? It does make you wonder a lot, right? Why William Regal's not in the game? Because he's the general manager of NXT. Why is Jerry Lawler not in the game? Considering he is a colour commentator through the majority of the history of WWE. It makes you wonder why people that are so involved with the company at the moment are just not getting put on the game. I don't quite understand it, unless they've requested not to. Now, there was very strong rumours that the reason why Andrade and Almas is not in the game is because he requested not to be. Why would you ever request yourself not to be on a computer game? That's the question I would ask, but yeah, it just seems a bit odd. Seems odd to me anyway, and here we go then. The introduction of Jerry the King Lawler. It looks alright. It's not bad. He looks a little bit apish, I must admit. I think his chin sticks out a little bit too much maybe, but that's not bad actually, is it? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section down below what you think of this Jerry Lawler. It is the best one on the community creations at the moment. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Tell PJ Tovey. Or TJ Tovey, whatever you want to call him these days. Tell him exactly what you think of that, and then I'm hoping it's a good one because we want to use him a bit more. We've got ideas of some specials we can do in SWE, and one of them is potentially going to be like a classic special. Going old school, very much similar to this match, I suppose, really. I think attire, you know what, it's not bad, is it? I think attire's spot on. It's just that face I'm a little bit dubious about. I think it's actually not bad. I've said this before, haven't I? I struggle at the moment. I'm really struggling to look at cores and really decide whether they're good or not. I just have to do it with my eyes, I don't know what, but I'm really struggling to look at two things and see if they're the same or not. I don't know why. I know it's quite a simple thing, but you know, I'm just a bit weird, I suppose. Just a bit weird. Right. So, yeah, Larry Zybsko was part of our recent pay-per-view against all odds, and I bet PJ Tovey was a bit surprising himself for picking Zybsko, I must admit, for that match, but it worked out pretty well, I suppose. And again, we've got Zybsko getting TV time, and Zybsko's also planning for some TV time next week as well, I believe. He is, yeah. Larry Zybsko doing very well at the moment for himself. But he needs to win some of these matches. He can't go in and lose the matches because he's just going to lose more ranking points. Okay, yeah. Jerry Lawler you can't seed me to Larry Zybsko there, which is an interesting situation to be in, to say the least. Lawler there, big overhand punch now into a jawbreaker on Larry Zybsko, who drops. Jerry Lawler now kick in the groin area and a knee in the spine as well of Larry Zybsko. Heading up now to the middle rope. Looking to drop those double elbows, but Zybsko avoided it. Jerry Lawler now sending Larry Zybsko into the corner. Hoist him up high. What's he going to go for here? He's got something in his mind, hasn't he? It's a superplex there by Jerry the King Lawler. Into the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. What was Jerry Lawler's finish? Was it a pile driver, Jerry Lawler's finisher, isn't it? Lawler now dragging Zybsko up against the ropes. And just clotheslines him over the top. I'm still unsure about his face, you know. I think attire and body-wise is perfect, but just his face is a little bit odd. Big forearm there by Jerry Lawler, and another big right hand as well, and another one taking Zybsko down. Lawler dragging Zybsko and dropping a leg drop right on the inside the knee. Lawler bringing Zybsko back up. Into the corner he goes once again, and Jerry Lawler very much in control of this match. Has been for quite some time. As now he's looking to drop that fist from the middle rope. Lovely signature maneuver, that one of Jerry Lawler. Into the pin he goes. That could be enough, you know. 1, 2, and 3, and it is. Jerry the King Lawler picks up the victory here over Larry Zybsko. Interesting. I like that. Jerry Lawler's impressed me here, you know, actually. Really has done well. Really impressed me. Really impressed me here. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing some more and see what PJ Tovey's got planned out for Jerry Lawler. Could be interesting because Jerry Lawler is, again, someone who can really feel he can. I don't know. Can he feel a lot of different aspects? I feel like in some of the more retro shows, he's definitely going to be a very strong member of some of our specials. But here on Mayhem, I suppose it's all down to picking up wins. He picks up enough wins, then PJ Toby will have to take on account how many wins he's getting and have to give him the opportunities he deserves, I suppose. But yeah, let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this core? I think the face is a little bit out. I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was originally, but I think that face is a little bit out there. But I like it. I do like it. I think it's a good core, and he's shown some good ability here in the opening match of his SWE career. And here's our next match of the evening. A little bit of tag team action as we're going to see the Kliq, Diesal and Razor Ramon taking on the Steiner brothers. Retro Steiner brothers. That's what we like to see. We wanted retro Steiners in last year's universe, maybe we just couldn't. We got to find a way in to get them in because we only had a limited amount of cores last year, didn't we? But now we do have a full amount of cores. We can use whatever we want to use. And here we go then, Diesel and Razor Ramon. Two parts of the Kliq, of course. Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Shawn Michaels also in there. We're going to see Shawn Michaels in the main event here this evening, as I mentioned earlier on, against Ric Flair. A repeat of their classic match over in WrestleMania, wasn't it? I'm sorry, I love you. An interesting match, wasn't it? It's such a good match when you think about it, because the styles mesh so well. They really do. And Shawn Michaels is one of those sort of wrestlers that have meshed very well against a lot of different people, isn't he? He's got that sort of technical. Oh no, it's the technical style. It's a very Flair style wrestler, isn't he, Shawn Michaels? I suppose there's quite a few of those around. Dolph Ziggler's a very Flair style wrestler. And it just suits those matches against the likes of Flair. Oh, when I say Flair, I mean Flair as in show off. That's what I mean, Flair. Not as in Flair as in a wrestler like Ric Flair, but Ric Flair's the same. He shows a lot of Flair himself. Maybe that's why he's called himself Flair, because of the actual definition of the word Flair. Basically a show off. And it works pretty well. I think I might have just cracked that, you know. Literally, it's one of those sort of things that you never think about. When you actually think about it, it becomes quite simple to actually understand. I'm going to stop. I'm talking complete crap now, aren't I? But you get the idea of what I mean. Ric Flair, because Ric Flair's name is actually Flair, but it's spelled different to how he spells it in wrestling terms. It's spelled like F-L-E-I-R-H, or something stupid like that. Whereas the actual Flair that he's changed his name to is the same as the definition of a show-off sort of Flair. And then here come the Steiner brothers rocking their Monsters Inc. University jumpers. I'm going to ask a stupid question now. Does the M stand for Michigan by any chance? I got a feeling it might be Michigan, but Michelin. Stands for Michelin, yeah, the tyre company. So to start things off with Razor Ramon and Scott Steiner. It's just so weird looking at Scott Steiner like this, you know. I don't recall Scott Steiner ever being like this, because I've only ever seen him when he was Big Papa Pump and he was injecting 4.5 stone worth of steroids in each bicep every single day. Nice big clothesline there by Scott Hall. Or no, Razor Ramon. I should not use the word Scott Hall. That's not allowed. He is yet to evolve into that state. Scott Steiner then taking Razor Ramon down. So this is a very interesting match, this one. This could definitely have an impact on the rankings. Steiner brothers, this is their debut in SWE. This is their first season in, and this is their first match of the season. It took me a few weeks to get a decent set of Steiners. I'm pretty happy. I think the Rick Steiner's fantastic. I'm still, like I said, I'm struggling with the Scott. I think the Scott Steiner's pretty good, but I just don't remember him ever looking like this. That's the problem. I just remember bleach blonde, veiny, muscle man, covered in weird tattoos. That's the Scott Steiner I remember. Scott Steiner just squeezing the head of Razor Ramon now. Arm breaker. Razor Ramon throwing Steiner into the corner. Steiner back up then. Razor Ramon turning things around, turning him into another corner. Razor Ramon now with his snake eyes. Here comes the... Oh, wow. So Diesel's going high. Razor's going to lob him halfway across the ring straight into Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner dropped neck first over that top rope and makes the hot tag though. Diesel a bit slow there, and Rick Steiner able to come into the ring, gets caught straight away by Diesel and gets taken down. Diesel now just twisting the neck of Rick Steiner, slamming him back first into the mat. Or just bringing Rick back up by his throat. Rick sent off the ropes looking for a big boot. Oh, a big clothesline right to the back there by Rick Steiner on Diesel. Rick now dragging Diesel away from the ropes. A big kick right in the gut before following up a kick in the spine as well. Rick now bringing Diesel back up to his feet once again. Off the ropes. Oh, both guys just run straight into each other. Diesel taking Rick Steiner down. Rick slowly back up, but Diesel catches him once again. The Fern Chancery. So we do have a tag team number one contendership match set up for a few weeks' time. It's looking pretty good, actually. That's going to include the Brainbusters and Demolition. That is, like I said, going to be in 2 weeks' time. That's going to be a really good match, that one. I think either way, the Brainbusters or Demolition, either way, it's going to be a great match against Legion of Doom, of course, for those tag team championships. Nice forearm there by Rick Steiner. Follows it up with a bulldog on Diesel. There's the pin by Steiner. 1, 2. I need a 2 count. And Rick Steiner here dominating Kevin Nash. Weren't quite expecting this. Was Rick Steiner very underrated, do you think? I know at the tag team, of course, Scott had a much stronger singles run. But apart from that, I don't know what Rick really did apart from that. So, I don't know. You guys let me know. Was he underutilized when he wasn't part of the tag team? Was he glorified, or was he sort of carried by Scott Steiner? I don't know. So I didn't really watch a lot of wrestling at this point in time when the Steiners were young like this. I didn't really see him a lot like this. I saw them more, like I said, with Scott Steiner as an individual and Rick Steiner just being a bit of a nutcase. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm sure the people out there have got better knowledge than I have. I'm sure PJ Tovey will know straight off the bat. But was Rick Steiner good? Did he sort of fall apart when the team disappeared? Because you notice with a lot of these teams, as Kevin Nash grabs Scott Steiner, takes him up looking for the jackknife. There it is, jackknife powerbomb, middle of the ring. You notice a lot of these teams always seem to have a weak link and a strong link, don't they? You've got Jeff Hardy, and then you've got Matt Hardy. You've got Bubba Ray as a strong link, Devon as the weaker. You had Edge as the stronger, Kristen is the weaker. I think, well, New Age Outlaw is a tricky one. I think Road Dogg was better on the mic. But Billy Gunn was better in the ring, in my opinion. But it does happen a lot with tag teams. Nice butterfly sit-out powerbomb there by Scott Steiner on Diesel. And Scott Steiner might need to make a tag out at some point. Because he has taken a jackknife. He could be in danger here, but Rick's not on the apron at the moment. And I'm assuming, based on the attires and based on the entrance attire, were the Steiner brothers, when they first came through, were they very much based as a... well, at some point? Retro Steiners, of course, these ones. I don't know, it's an interesting thought, isn't it? Like I said, I don't know a huge amount about their situation between these two guys. Nice belly-to-belly slam there by Rick Steiner on Razor and Ramon, but Diesel taking Scott Steiner down now as well. And still, at this point in time, we're struggling to get people to block off the pins as we need them to. Nash bringing Scott Steiner up and then just catch him with that massive right hand. And well, Scott Steiner's been busted open. Yeah, Scott Steiner busted open by that big right hand by Kevin Nash. Nash now with the shin breaker on Scott Steiner as well. Razor's still down on the outside, you know. Nash just Diesel just having a quick look over the edge. I'm still struggling with getting Diesel and Razor right, aren't I? Diesel just looking over the apron, just Checking on his partner there for a second. Oh, wow, Diesel just lobbing Scott Steiner right across the ring. There's the pin, but it's right in front of Rick. And Rick wasn't going to get there in time. Rick was too slow getting the ring. I think Rick's taken so much damage in this match that he's struggling a bit. You know, this is our third match of the evening where there are 3 Ricks. Rick Martel, Rick Rude, and Rick Steiner. Don't like a Rick match. A Rick off. Diesel here, looking like he's struggling for energy a bit. Dropping a boot right in the face of Scott Steiner, who's already bleeding, so dropping a boot in his face is not going to help. And there's another big right hand by Diesel, but Steiner fighting back into a vertical suplex, taking Diesel down. I think Scott needs to make the tag into Rick as soon as he possibly can, though, because no, he's going to go for a taunt instead. Come on, Scott, man. Think about this. Think about this logically. You're struggling. Scott now bringing Nash back up to his feet. There's that butterfly sit-up powerbomb once again. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2. Wow. I thought that was really well placed right in his own corner. But Diesel was able to kick out. How much damage are you going to have to do to Diesel to keep this man down? The resilience is just incredible. Really incredible. Incredible. Steiner bringing Kevin Nash back up to a seated base. Nash fighting back big. Right hand in the gut of Steiner. Nash now taking Steiner up on his shoulders, but Steiner managing to escape at the back. Sending Nash into the ropes. Steiner spinning him around. But Nash catches him into that DDT. Landing Steiner flat-faced. Steiner fighting back though, sending Nash face first into the mat now. Steiner is starting to get back into this though. He's looking like he's in a very good position. Getting into the backdrop now. And Kevin Nash, you see, trying to crawl his way to raise Ramon, but Steiner able just to stop him from getting there. Oh wow, Steiner screwdriver. Oh, I love that move so much. I really love the Steiner screwdriver so much. Such a cool move. And a Frankensteiner as well. There's the pin. 1, 2. Razor's missed it. Razor missed it, and Diesel still bloody kicked out. Rick Steiner there with a German suplex. How on earth is Diesel still going in this one? My God, he's been hit by like every single move in the Steiner's arsenal. I'm actually really enjoying this tag team match as well. It's a really good back and forth. Gonna see the Frankensteiner? We could be seeing the Frankensteiner. Looks like we are going to see a Frankensteiner. There it is, the Frankensteiner. Is that the end? Is that his finisher? Rick Steiner's got Razor Ramon down the outside. Come on, Scott, go for the pin. Scott's knackered. He's used up all his energy. Go for the pin, Scott. He does finally go for the pin. It's delayed, though. 1, 2. But it's still enough, and the Steiner brothers pick up the win. What a match that. I really enjoyed that match. Really enjoyed that. Probably one of the best tag team matches we've had so far in this universe mode. I'm really happy with that. Really happy. The Steiner brothers pick up a massive victory here over the Outsiders. Or the Kliq, should we say, not the Outsiders. Too many names. There's a Steiner's... Scott Steiner's moveset for me is so cool. This retro Scott Steiner moveset anyway. The Steiner screwdriver. The Hurricanrana. I think I called that the Frankensteiner by mistake, didn't I? The Hurricanrana, then of course the Frankensteiner to win it. And there we go. The Steiner brothers are victorious here in their debut in SWE. I quite like this. I really like Scott Steiner's moveset. The Steiner screwdriver is one of my favourite moves, though. It really is. Brian Cage is using that now as well as one of his finishing moves, isn't he? But there we go. The Steiner brothers, massive win for them. 5 points each for them in the rankings. And of course 10 points for the Steiner brothers tag team. And here we go. Here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be the Big Boss Man taking on the Big Show. This should be an interesting one. We've had 3 Ricks, now we've got 2 Bigs. If only we had a Big Rick. He's actually a wrestler, isn't he? Big Rick was Ezekiel Jackson over in Lucha Underground. Oh, we're really getting everyone now, aren't we? Where is Ezekiel Jackson? Is he retired now? It is Ezekiel Jackson, isn't it? Big Zeke. Yeah, I've only ever seen him in Lucha Underground since he left WWE, and now that he's been killed off, hasn't he, in Lucha Underground, I believe. Lucha Underground's the only company I know where people will actually get killed off. So yeah, he's been killed off, so that'd be interesting to see what happens with him. I've not seen him booked anywhere else. Maybe he just does TV stuff and that now. I think he is a bit of an actor, isn't he? It's a pretty cool character he had, though. I think Big Rick was probably the best character I've seen Ezekiel Jackson do. That heel character. He lost an eye, didn't he, at the end of one of this... was it the second series he lost an eye? Was it the first series? Where one of the guys, he was in his stable, who he kicked out, and I think they all turned on him, didn't they? His whole stable turned on him, and they ended up sticking a cigar in his eye. And then you have to wear an eye... Literally said to Ezekiel Jackson, look, if you're going to come wrestle in Mexico, or Mexico-based programming, you need to have some sort of mask on. He's like, okay, I'll just stick on an eye patch. I'm going to be some sort of parrot. That's probably not how it went down, but yeah, that's how it worked, more or less. So the Big Show, this is where the Big Show was half good. 2000s Big Show. I wanted to go a little bit earlier, Big Show, but he doesn't seem to be on the game this year. They had the long-haired Big Show last year, wasn't it? Like the 99 version. The Giant, effectively. But this is the one we've got here at the moment. This is the one that's had that feud against The Rock when it was... I don't know who was supposed to win the Rumble. But was it when The Rock and Big Show both went over the top rope at the same time, and they ended up wrestling at... they wrestled at No Way Out, and the winner would go on to WrestleMania. I don't think that was a clear-cut result either. And did it end up being a Fatal 4-Way in the main event of WrestleMania? Fatal 4-Way elimination. It was Austin the champion. It was The Rock. Then it was it Austin, Rock, Triple H and Mankind? No, it was Austin, Rock, Big Show and Mankind, wasn't it? No, it can't have been. Triple H must have been in there because it was a McMahon in every corner, wasn't it? So Stephanie would have been in Triple H's corner. Linda McMahon was definitely in Mankind's corner. I feel like it might have been Shane McMahon in the Big Show's corner, which leaves Vince in the corner of either Rock or Austin. I don't know. Big right hand there by Big Show, taking Bossman down. And now here he is, dropping his body weight across the spine of Bossman. Bossman now belly to belly slam, taking Big Show down, showed his strength. Good old Bossman. We didn't use Bossman much at all in last year's game, did we? And it's nice to get him a bit more action here. And I feel like it's going to be a bit more difficult this year because our rosters are a lot bigger. We've got 70 men and 12 women on each roster. And then obviously if we add any more, which we're probably looking to depending on what cores are available, then that's obviously going to mean that we've got even more people. It's going to be more difficult to get everyone a match, so we're not going to worry too much about trying to get everyone a match each month. Which means that some people might not get as much TV time as they were hoping, but still. We've got some good stuff going on. And definitely we've still got 3 massive matches here for you this evening. Next up we have got Finn Balor taking on Mankind as part of his Prove That You're Good Enough to be a main event wrestler sort of series he's got going on. We're going to see Vader taking on Yokozuna, and the loser of that one will have to leave Mayhem. So that's a big match, that one. Essentially, Tatsumi Fujinami at Hydra has challenged Vader. He wants Vader to prove that he is the best big man in the company, the best man to be the muscle for the Hydra stable. And to do that, he has to prove himself against Yokozuna here this evening. And then our main event, of course, Ric Flair, accompanied by Barry Windham, takes on Shawn Michaels, accompanied by Hunter Hearst Helmsley. His Big Show here is just demolishing the Big Boss Man. There's the pin by Show. 1, 2, and 3. Wow, Big Show really showing here that he might be more than just the generic big man here this year. Big Show trying to show PJ Tovey, if you're watching. Hey, PJ Tovey. Well, I feel like I can be main event. That's my Big Show impression. I feel like I could be... I'm just basically doing it really... I don't know what the Big Show sounds like. He's quite deep, isn't he? He feels like he could be main event this year. And with victories like this, you never know. If he can spring a few more of these together, then PJ Tovey might be forced to give him the opportunity, just like some of the other people here. But that's the whole way it is. You've got to string together a few victories, prove yourself, build yourself up some ranking points, and that is how you're going to get yourself in that championship picture. But I feel like PJ Tovey's definitely got some thinking to do with some of the results that's happened here this evening. But of course, the big thinking is going to be in the next two matches, Balor versus Mankind and Vader versus Yoko. That could really change the dynamic of SWE Mayhem's roster. And we're only 3 weeks in. And here we go, there's the next match of the evening. It is going to be the first of Finn Balor's options to really prove himself. Daniel Bryan earlier, of course, our new general manager here on Mayhem, as suggested that Daniel Bryan needs to prove he can beat some of the top names in wrestling, or at least go toe-to-toe with them before he's going to be able to get himself a main event picture here. And Finn Balor obviously feeling very underutilized here on Mayhem. And the thing is that it's very tricky, isn't it? Let's face it. It's very tricky. There's a lot of massive names in SWE, and you're not going to be able to go on any roster and guarantee yourself a main event championship picture. But Finn Balor obviously feels like he's not going to get anywhere here. And he has had some pretty good upper mid-card stuff, but I think that's what Finn feels like is all he's going to be able to get. And ooh, we're pulsing. Does that mean we've got the Demon here this evening? It's not standard Finn. We're going to get the Demon Finn. Very nice. Where art thou, Demon? Though if you do have a bad reaction to flashing images, this is not the best entrance to watch. This at WrestleMania is going to be an insane entrance. But it has to be done at night time. Which is good because it means Finn's going to have to go on late in the card, which means he's going to have to be in a very strong position. I wonder who Finn will face at WrestleMania. That's a question, isn't it? Oh wow, Finn! Finn rocking some Mankind himself here by the looks of it. Wow! Finn Balor trying to get inside the head of Mankind here, maybe. He's even rocking the tweed jacket. And the Cactus Jack t-shirt, wow. Finn Balor really trying to get in the head then of Mankind here, Mick Foley. And to be honest, I feel like he's doing a good trick here. Well, I like this. I do like this. You've got to like this, haven't you? There he is, the Demon himself, Finn Balor. Oh, it's a shame Finn Balor wasn't Scottish, because then he could have been nicknamed as Cactus Jock, but there you go. There you go, we could ignore that. Just pretend that didn't happen. I like this. I do like these Finn Balor attires. I feel like we're going to have to utilise some more. There's loads of really cool Finn Balor attires on Community Creations. And, yeah, like I said, I'm going to utilise some more. Now, if you're excited for seeing Finn Balor, you're a big Finn Balor fan, then I'm going to give you a little bit of spoiler here. This is a treat for all the people that watch these videos the whole way through, because a lot of people probably they skip through. And I don't mind. If you skip through, then it's up to you. You can watch my videos however you want to, really. I'm doing it for my own fun, really. But a little bit of an Easter egg for you guys that are watching right now. Tomorrow, which is Sunday, is going to be another SWE special. It's a little bit later than probably what it should have been, but we're going to have SWE's Halloween Havoc. And on that card is going to be this man himself, Finn Balor. He'll be wrestling tomorrow night as well on Halloween Havoc. And who's he wrestling, you ask? Who is he wrestling? He's going to wrestle somebody who's never wrestled ever in the past. You know who that is? Finn Balor is going to be wrestling Pentagon Jr. Yes. How amazing is that to be? Finn Balor versus Pentagon Jr. But take nothing away from what we've got here this evening. Finn Balor rocking his Mankind-inspired attire here. Taking on, of course, the man himself, Mankind. I like this, I really do. The white art, it's pretty cool. The brown, yellow, and white attire as well is really, really cool. I like that. It's more of the brown sort of colour that Mankind used to wear as his sort of heel / ministry attire. Brown, I quite like that as well. I do like that. Big elbow in the back of the head of Mankind by Finn. Now Finn sending Mankind into the ropes for dropping a boot in the back of the head. Finn also dragging Mankind, draping him over the top of the ropes and pinging him back into the ring. And Finn Balor taking an early advantage here against Mankind. Now, I did forget to mention, As, of course, this is a match all about Finn Balor trying to overcome the odds against a legend of sorts in Mankind. This match is going to be Mankind's own choosing, which means that this match is Falls Count Anywhere. No disqualifications, no countouts. Pinfalls and submissions count anywhere in... Well, anywhere, basically. I was going to say anywhere in the arena, but they count outside the arena as well. Finn Balor here now dropping the punches right to the face of Mankind, who now drops to the ground. And we've not seen anyone yet on this game. I don't want to curse this because this might actually happen now. It is going to happen. I was about to say we've not seen anybody yet fight in the crowd on this year's game, but there we go. Finn Balor and Mankind fighting it into the crowd, and wow, Finn Balor gets caught with a big right hand and goes straight over the barricade, and Mankind back in, and Finn Balor... What the hell happened there? Wow, Finn Balor threw Mankind so hard into the barricade that he actually created a wormhole and travelled across the arena. That is just how much power that Finn Balor has. I think I might have got away with that one. I think I got away with that one. Two guys now fighting it into the timekeeping area where there is a ring bell just randomly floating in the sky there because there's no table for it to be on. And is the actual guy who sat in the timekeeper's area, he's not even sat in a chair, is he? Who made this freaking game? I mean, look, the guy's crouching there with no chair underneath him. There's a ring bell just floating in the middle of nowhere. Oh my god. Oh, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, not even put on, Mankind rips out the mandible claw. Mr. Socko is here. That's really weird, isn't it? Just, I wish they would have given an animation there of actually having Mankind pull the sock out and put it on. And now the sock's disappeared again. That's just lazy 2K. Lazy Ukes. That is really lazy. There's the pin by Mankind, 1. Only a 1 count. Wow. Finn Balor still looking pretty strong here, but how did Mankind get a mandible claw so early in this match? There's Finn Balor back up on his feet. And a running codebreaker taking Mankind down. I just can't get over that guy just crouching there. I really can't. Finn Balor here just trying to absorb the positivity from the crowd. Absorb the energy. He knows he's going to need it in the long term because, like I said, Mankind incredibly resilient. There's a 1916 on the outside by Finn Balor on Mankind. Now, Finn probably better suited to being inside the ring, of course, considering Finn's finisher, the coup de grace, is from the top turnbuckle. Nice DDT there by Finn. Yeah, but considering he wants to go for that coup de grace at some point, he's going to have to be inside the ring, unless Finn has an alternative finisher maneuver, like the underhook brainbuster, for example. Nice underhook brainbuster on Mankind on the outside, dropping an elbow. Didn't go for the pin. Oh, he should have gone for the pin maybe straight away. Now he goes for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Finn Balor picks up the victory. Wow. Quite a quick match in the end as well, with that underhook brainbuster on the outside. And Finn Balor, well, 1 tick to him. 1 tick to him, definitely proving to Daniel Bryan. Look, he's not on a chair. Look, he's not. He's just hovering. So yeah, it's Finn Balor really proving here that resilience is also his as well. Had his spine smashed off that ring post, got caught with a mandible claw, and it wasn't enough for Mankind to keep him down. And yeah, like I said, Finn Balor with a 1916 on the outside. And then followed up, of course, with that underhook brainbuster. A move synonymous with Bullet Club, of course. And the Demon Finn Balor, rocking this special Mankind attire, is victorious here this evening. And could this be the first step in the retribution of Finn Balor? And here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be the loser leaves Mayhem match. It is going to be Vader versus Yokozuna. Now, of course, this match was made by Tatsumi Fujinami. He suggested the match to PJ Tovey and, of course, the new general manager, Daniel Bryan. He wanted to test his biggest asset. He wanted to test Big Van Vader. Of course, well, Big Van Vader, well, normal Vader, I suppose. He wanted to test Vader out in a match that's going to test his strength. Of course, Vader is the muscle of this stable. However, he wants to make him prove himself because he doesn't feel like Vader's really been up to the job since Hydra really formed. So he wants to give him a bit of a test, see how he can go on. And the debuting Yokozuna has been picked as the man to test him against. Now, I'm still unsure about... I think this Yokozuna is the best one I can find. Best one I can find by quite some distance, to be honest. But I'm still not sure it's big enough. I think apart from that, the face isn't too bad, though, is it? Face isn't too bad, I don't think. We're hoping for a non-glitchy night. It's gone really badly for us, hasn't it, really? And here we go. The match is underway. I'll have to redo it because of, you know, various skullduggery. Well, you've seen what's been happening tonight already, haven't you, really? But this, of course, is Vader versus Yokozuna. The loser of this match will be extradited from Mayhem. And in the case of Vader, will also be kicked from the Hydra stable. Tatsumi Fujinami said that he wanted to test Vader. He wanted Vader to prove that he was the man who they originally brought in. The man who was going to be the muscle for the stable. Wow, oh my god. That's a bonsai drop already. There's the pin. 1, 2... Holy crap! I barely got through the intro and Yokozuna's just squashed Vader. Wow. Vader's gone. Vader's freaking gone from Mayhem. That was insane. How did that even happen that quick? Vader's gone from Mayhem then. That is the end of Vader. Well, Tatsumi Fujinami said he wanted to test Vader. He said he wanted to test his muscle. And his muscle here has definitely failed him. It's really has failed him. And there we go. Vader's gone. Vader's gone. I wonder whether Tatsumi Fujinami has somebody in place already to replace him as the muscle, or I wonder if this appearance here by Yokozuna might put him in that picture. Who knows? Wow. And here is our next match of the evening. It is going to be Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels. Of course, Ric Flair has Barry Windham at ringside. Triple H. Of course, Hunter Hearst Helms is going to be at ringside for Shawn Michaels. And here we go. This gonna be good. This gonna be good. Of course, this is a rehash from that old WrestleMania classic. And a first viewing of our third Barry Windham core that we downloaded. This one I think is going to be the right one though. Look at that arm, it's perfect, isn't it? Right on this side of the screen, there you go. Just creeping in every now and again. Yeah, this guy, I downloaded this Barry Windham off of. He's created an Arn Anderson, he's created a Tully Blanchard, and now he's created the Barry Windham as well. And all three of them are looking pretty damn good. So we now have all 4 members of the Horsemen available here on Mayhem. And we'll see the Brainbusters in action in a couple of weeks' time when they face off against Demolition in the Tag Team #1 Contendership match as well. So that's going to be a big one here for the Horsemen. Good old Ric Flair, eh? Good old Ric Flair. Woo! And of course, Ric Flair's opponent is going to be the man who effectively retired him from WWE. I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I got the moves that drive the girls wild. Here he is there, Mr. Shawn Michaels himself, alongside Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And I hope you've not got any problems with flashing images, because you're getting a lot of them right now. I'm getting a little bit epileptic as it is here right now. Shawn Michaels. This is a massive match for Shawn Michaels. And both Ric Flair as well. Both of them yet to hold any gold in SWE at any point. And a big victory here in the main event here of Mayhem could really push one or the other into a much more aggressive position on the card. And of course we know The Rock is the brand new champion. And we are going to have a #1 contendership match for that championship in a few weeks' time. And it is going to include Triple H. PJ Toby deciding to give Triple H the opportunity alongside Batista. One-on-one, those two guys will face off in a few weeks' time for the #1 contendership. But a few victories picked up by anybody in that time could be enough to really force them into the right direction. A few losses and all of a sudden you're down in mid-card obscurity. And Flair straight away taking Michaels down and working the leg. Nice. Working that leg over well. Of course, early on, knowing that the figure 4 leg lock is going to be Flair's endgame, working that knee early is definitely the best way to go. Flair dragging Michaels onto the ropes now, springs him back into a clubbing forearm and another one in the spine as well. Michaels going down and Flair threatening to hit him again, but Flair now working on that knee again, maybe? Yep, dropping an elbow right on the inside of the knee. Flair sending Michaels off the ropes. And for the back elbow, but Michaels fighting out and Michaels getting caught or catching Flair. So with the forearm, now there is the Russian leg sweep. Michaels dropping a boot and now dropping another boot as well on Ric Flair. I forgot his name there for a second. Michaels now dragging Flair across the ring. There's the snapmare and trying to keep Flair away from Barry Windham on the other side. Probably a wise thing. It's not a tag team match, of course, but it's quite a clever way of doing it. Just, again, trying to separate the ring. Stopping Flair from getting the... Well, it's going to be the momentum that Barry Windham can build on the outside. Trying to get the crowd going. Oh, and Flair here, taking the top of the announce board. What the hell am I on about here? Taking the top off the turnbuckle pad. Flair, of course, the dirtiest player in the game. Knows how to utilise these areas to his advantage. And straight away, there goes Shawn Michaels into that turnbuckle, spine first on that exposed steel ring, holding those ropes together. And Flair in firm control of this match here over Michaels, he says. As Michaels catching Flair, maybe looking for a power driver, but Flair able to survive by just sending Shawn Michaels over his head. Now Flair getting distracted with Triple H, and now that allows Shawn Michaels the chance to drop an atomic drop on Flair. There's the pin by Michaels. Only a 1 count. Flair avoiding that from Michaels, now sending Michaels into the corner. Michaels taking Flair down. And a short, sharp DDT, and that distraction by Triple H was enough to give Shawn Michaels control of this match. Michaels now backdrop on Flair as in comes a steel chair into the ring. Michaels went for the Quesadora and completely missed it. So yeah, Triple H throwing a steel chair into the ring. That's interesting. As Flair now taking control once again. There's the atomic drop, and what that does basically is you drop the entire person's body weight across your knee and it compresses the spine. It's incredibly painful. If you've ever fell really hard on your backside, you'll know exactly what I mean. Coccyx damage is one of the worst things you can get, I think. So painful. Flair now up into the middle rope. Dropping an elbow drop right in the heart of Shawn Michaels. Flair now dropping a knee in the face of Michaels as well. Triple H here distracting the referee. Michaels 1, 2, 3. Flair could have won the match there and then, but Triple H distracting the referee. And that's allowed Michaels once again to get back into this one. And the clever managerial work here by Triple H has been enough. And Flair, maybe he's going for it here. He is. He's got it locked in as well. There's a figure 4 leg lock. Michaels can't quite reach the ropes from here. Can't quite reach them. It's very difficult to see the angles here. It's a perspective issue. And of course, Michaels has had a lot of damage done to his leg already by Flair. And Flair breaks the hold eventually. Not quite sure why Flair's broken the hold, to be honest. Boot in the face there by Michaels on Flair. But Flair's back up and Michaels, you see him limping ever so slightly there as he's walking along. Michaels catching Flair with the elbow. Now into went for a spine buster, but Flair reversing it. Now Flair with a chop. Keeping a grip of Michaels, bringing him back up to his feet for a second. Flair now sending Michaels into the corner of the Windham, stationed. Big knee in the gut. Now Flair heading up to the middle rope. Dropping an elbow drop once again from that middle rope. On Shawn Michaels in the Triple H in the ring here, just taking Ric Flair over the top. Triple H has had enough here. Is this not a disqualification, ref? It is now, yes. It is a disqualification. Triple H is coming into the ring and just assaulting Ric Flair. He's not having any of this. Wow. I've not seen that before. That's interesting, that. And there we go then. Well, it's just completely cut it off there. So Ric Flair is victorious by disqualification. And this is very interesting. This is very interesting indeed, actually. This could lead up to a pretty good match next week. I hope you're watching, PJ TV, because this is a pretty cool ending. So yeah, Triple H unhappy with the way the match was going. Ric Flair was really in control. He'd hit Shawn Michaels with quite a lot of big manoeuvres, including that figure 4 leg lock. So Triple H came in and decided just to take Ric Flair out. And there we go. Ric Flair wins by disqualification. But Triple H and Shawn Michaels get the last laugh here this evening. So guys, that's the end of tonight's show. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, please do hit that like button. And of course, subscribe if you want to see some more. Like I said earlier on, don't forget to check out the channel tomorrow, as we'll be having our next SWE special uploaded. That will be Halloween Havoc. A little bit later than Halloween, but still we get it in there more or less the right time. And again, that's going to be a really cool card. We're focusing on the dark and the mysterious and the monstrous on that one as well. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for our next episode of SWE. Bye.
The one, two,